Do you want to do it or will I do it?
I don't mind if you got something in mind. Alright, do you want me to do it?
Fuck it, I'll go for it.
I'm gonna eat this donut while you're doing it. It's me lunch.
Nice and professional. No, the mics are going to pick that up.
I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
I was just about to start talking as well, you prick. Alright guys, welcome to another episode. Ah, fuck you.
Okay, you see, this is why in the business people go 3, 2...
It's a business. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mattie and Liamo. Today we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl. But not that Super Bowl. We're going to be talking about the movie Super Bowl. Because we really could not give a fuck about American football. Apparently one team fucked it up right at the end. They really blew it. But what we're here to talk about.
Yes. Sorry, I thought your intro was over.
No. It was, yeah, it was.
No, it's not over, so you can keep talking if you want. I heard some guy dropped his cax as a sort of like a ball celebration or something.
Yeah, and pretended to take a shit with the ball. Yeah.
Okay, did he actually drop his cax?
I don't know if he dropped his cax or if he just squatted down like to stylistically say, I'm pretending to take a dump.
Okay.
Super Bowl dump.
Classy.
He didn't drop his cax. He just,
He just mimed it.
Yeah, I love someone's criticism of it on Twitter was fucking brilliant. Doug Baldwin had 2 weeks to come up with a touchdown celebration, and that's what he came up with. Criticizing the effort, not the actual celebration.
Doug Baldwin. That's a great name.
That is a brilliant name.
Long story short, somebody lost. Somebody sports harder than the other team.
Yeah, someone foot handballed it a lot better than the other foot handballers, I think was how it went. I believe it's the equivalent of like when you're playing Call of Duty, not getting your sidearm out at the right time, and someone just lamps you out of it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's that kind of thing. I could be wrong. Like I said, we don't know sports.
No, we're not experts. So
so I'm just gonna pull up a list of the full Super Bowl movie like trailers that came out, the full list of stuff. Some of them I didn't bother watching. I watched a good. Fuck! That's not what I wanted to do. Ranking the Super Bowl 2015 movie trailers. There's two main ones that I want to talk about, but the ones that came out that were definitely on there that I didn't bother watching were the Terminator Genesis one, the Divergent series Insurgent, and Minions. I didn't bother watching them. How about you? Good.
Couldn't be arsed.
Yeah, none of those films I'm interested in.
Divergent, is this one of these fucking teenage novels?
Yeah.
Yeah, can't be arsed. Minions, it's just like a fucking spin-off of a mediocre animation. Can't be arsed. And Terminator Genesis, can't be arsed. Saw the first trailer and I kind of thought, I spent 50% of the time excited and 50% of the time cringing. Cringing at the fucking 25 references to the old movies that they slipped into the trailer. Yes. And also cringing at their terrible CGI. Terrible CGI. I mean, it's not as good as the CGI in fucking Terminator 2 from 37 years ago.
I'm not going to get into detail on it, but how fucking awesome was that film, Terminator 2? Like, Jesus. Incredible. It's... Anyway, we'll get back to the trailers, because we could talk for hours about that film. Did you watch the 50 Shades of Grey trailer?
I didn't. I haven't seen any trailers for that at all.
No. I would imagine it's just a load of moaning. Didn't bother with that one either. Tomorrowland, which I thought wasn't one that I was hyped for. In fact, didn't even know Clooney was in it. Watched that Super Bowl trailer, and it looks alright.
I know nothing about it. I get a very strong feeling that this is based on a novel, a young teenager novel kind of thing. Possibly not, but that's just the vibe I get from it. It looks like a very family-friendly fantasy adventure kind of film. But one of those films that makes me glad I have a family, so I have an excuse to go and watch it.
No, it's actually an original it's an original story.
Shocking. I really thought that cheesy title was definitely from teenage literature.
It's based on a ride that's at the Disney theme parks.
Ah.
But I would assume that it's I mean, I would assume that they took the name, because it's like a futuristic land that
Hmm.
is this part of the theme park, and I'm assuming that it's basically, you know, just they took some of the architecture, they took the name, and they made a story of it.
Yeah, same as Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah, which won't get into that. But anyway, yeah, I was intrigued by it. It looks like it could be an enjoyable film. Do you know what I mean? One of those films you go and see and you go, actually, I'm surprised at how good that was. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
One of those movies.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it's got Clooney.
Class act.
Yeah, completely class. And just one of those lads that you just kind of go, there's George, just being himself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Also, I didn't know he was in it. We have seen the trailer a couple of weeks ago. I've seen the trailer for this, and I'm not sure he was in it because when I seen him in the trailer yesterday, I was like, "Holy shit, Clooney's in this!" Also, special mention, fucking Hugh Laurie is in it.
yeah,
He's a little legend.
yeah, serious lad. Yeah, I think I will go see that. Most definitely will go see it. Whether it's good or not, you can't really tell from that little 30, 40 second spot that they had. And I haven't watched the main trailer, so I might actually sit down and watch it. But I do remember Samantha mentioned it to me before. Uh,
Mm.
so, the SpongeBob movie, did you watch that trailer that came
I
out
seen
for
the
the
trailer
Super
a few
Bowl?
weeks back.
This is a
Where
little
it's like,
Super Bowl thing.
okay, no, I didn't see the new one. Jeez, we very poor research we did today.
Yeah,
I
well, there
haven't
was
seen any of the things we're talking about.
that was just two things that there's only two trailers that I actually really considerably gave a shit about. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Which we're going to get onto in a couple of minutes. But yeah, the SpongeBob movie, I saw the first one, loved the
Mm.
first one. I
Yeah.
always have a special place in my heart for the Sponge,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'll definitely go see this when it comes out.
Yeah. There was a lot
I'll
of
bring the
people
kids.
whinging about the fact that it's CGI now.
Yeah,
Get over it, you fucking freaks. What do you want? Like, do you want them to just keep churning out the same cartoon again and again and again? Because when you do that, you get
yeah,
complaints. Oh, it's the
yeah.
same as the first movie. Well, it's not,
Simpsons. You know,
unfortunately.
they complain about the Simpsons because it hasn't changed, but I guarantee if they change the format of the Simpsons, people would be moaning and moaning.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they'd be more than worse. You can't win in this business.
you really can't.
Same goes for movies, TV shows, video games. You keep doing the same thing because it's popular, and
Mm,
it remains popular, but then you get complainers saying, oh, it's just the same fucking thing in a different box. And then when you make a
exactly.
change, people say, oh, where did they change it? Where did you tamper with perfection? People are
Exactly.
pricks.
They are arseholes.
Savages.
So, uh, so I suppose now we'll get on to the two that I cared about. Is there any other ones that you were into?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
So, obviously, the first one I want to talk about is the Fast and Furious 7 trailer.
Ah,
Did you see it?
I didn't. Again, is this a new one?
Yeah.
A new trailer?
It's the minute and a half. I think it was a minute and a half long.
Yeah, no, I saw one a couple of weeks ago, and it just looked cheesy as fuck.
Are you a fan of those movies?
It looked like Spy Kids 5.
Do you like the Fast and Furious series?
I watched, I think, one of them, and it was
Okay.
okay. It was
Okay.
only okay.
But see, I love all those movies.
Mm.
Absolutely love them. Even the third one, which is completely reviled by everyone as being the worst of the series, I actually enjoy more than the second one. I thought the
Yeah.
second one was the worst one. And seventh one is like the first one was great, right?
Mm.
Second one was awful. Three was so different that people didn't like it. Four, they brought all the original cast back. That was good. Five was one of my top movies of that year. Like it was in the top three of the best movies of that year. I think that was 2012. Fast and
That
Furious.
sounds about right, actually. Yeah.
Check. Uh, oh, 2011. Right, so. Well, that was, I mean, it was brilliant. It was one of the best movies of that year, and I mean, even critics like were saying it's probably the best movie like of the series. It's just excellently done. And number 6 is just the 5th one, but better, if that was possible. I didn't think they could actually top it. So
Okay.
number 7, I'm really looking forward to that because they're continuing the story that started in number 6 and also that started in number 3. Because the timeline is it goes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 7.
Okay.
6 and 3 are kind of happening. I think maybe 3 and 7 are kind of happening concurrently, like they're running side by side.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm really excited about that. And I mean, the action and stuff just looks fucking ridiculous. At one point, they're in Dubai. One of them drives a car out of the Burj, across the gap, and into another building through the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is it? Does it look like a real stunt?
It doesn't look like a real stunt, but I'll let them away with it because it's class.
You're generous, man.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things where, because we've talked about, like, movies that we enjoy that are real, they're artsy and, you're well known, like Godfather, that kind of thing, where it's performance based and you're caught up in it. But sometimes I just love to go to the cinema and just sit down and not have to think about the story, and it doesn't even have to make sense, and I'm just going, this is class, it's just stuff blowing up. Like Transformers 1. Do you know what I mean? Transformers 1 is excellent. Alright, Transformers 4 was a big steaming pile of shite if you actually pay attention to the story and watch it a second time. The first time, you're incredibly entertained. Incredibly entertained.
Yeah. There was a lot of stuff that took me out
long.
of the moment in the fourth film, which I can't say for the first three. I mean, obviously there's silly moments in the first three, but they didn't take me out of the moment. The fourth film was fucking laden with it. One in particular was the Irish boyfriend, and that fucking and this fucking stupid stunt at one point where I think they went up something and then came back down again, and I think she pulled the handbrake. He was like, "Are you ready, babe?" And she did it, and I was like, "Has the dude already got one fucking arm? There's not a guy on the planet who can't pull his own fucking handbrake. You don't need a wingman to do this stuff." You're like,
the other hand was too busy wanking because he was getting paid millions to be in a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But fuck it, yeah, no, it's. But like when you're in the cinema watching it the first time, I'm turned my brain off, enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I think Furious 7, because that's gonna be really. I think it's gonna be one of those movies where I'm just gonna love it. And also, it's Paul Walker died last year, so I'm intrigued to know how they'll go about dealing with his character being, gone or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now the main reason we're here, the main reason we're doing this, Jurassic World Super Bowl trailer. Liam, tell me in as many words as you possibly can what you thought of that trailer while I watch it again. Oh, that's a fucking review. You cunt. You cunt.
Yeah. You should actually watch it and get some tips.
As you were saying. What did you think of it?
Jurassic World. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Jurassic World is I don't like the name.
Okay.
It just annoys me. I know it makes sense.
Why?
It makes sense that you have a Jurassic World now instead of Jurassic Park. It's obviously a bigger place, so maybe. I don't know. It just doesn't flow off the tongue.
Huh.
Do you not agree?
No, I like the title, and the reason that I like the title is because, you go to all these theme parks now, and it's Disney World or Disneyland. You know what I mean? There's loads of names of these things with World, all right. And also, it's because now the dinosaurs, everyone knows they're there. Do you know what I mean? The first one and half of the second one, no one believed that it was possible. Third one, everyone knows about it, but they don't go. Now it's become a big thing that everyone knows about. Do you know what I mean? So it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? It does make sense. But I like that title. I think it's a nice way of saying that they're also upping the stakes, I suppose.
Yeah. I suppose it makes sense. I'm not criticizing them for picking the name. It's just it's like when they changed Jif to Sif. I didn't like Sif. I still don't like Sif. It just sounds. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It sounds horrible. It sounds like a disease. Have you got
when I found out that.
No, I don't.
Well, maybe it's because syphilis.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. But it's like when I found out GIF was actually pronounced GIF, and my life ended.
Yeah.
I was fucking heartbroken about that. Absolutely heartbroken.
Getting back to the trailer. Yeah, pretty good. The only thing is, I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't more revelations in it. Not that I like to see too many revelations in these trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3, but I just thought Super Bowl, we're going to see something spectacular here. And although it was a good trailer, there was nothing in it that made me go, fuck.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Unless I see the wrong fucking trailer.
That's strange because I was blown away by the trailer. Like, absolutely blown away. I thought it was.
What stands out?
One of the things that really stood out to me, and something that when I first heard about it, I thought it was the worst thing they could ever do, and it was fucking ridiculous, right? Having the Velociraptors be trained.
Yeah.
But in that trailer, I mean, it's interesting. It's something that I'm starting to warm to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think one of the reasons I'm starting to warm is because someone put a great thing on Reddit, and it was a quote from the first Jurassic Park movie that I mean, obviously I heard the line before, but I never put it together with what's happening in this one, where Hammond says that the Velociraptors imprint on the first person they see, almost like they see as a mother figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're talking about that, it could be like they've set this up now. Chris Pratt is like, you know, he's almost like they see him as a mother figure.
Yeah, I suppose it's like anybody that works with lions in the wild or gorillas.
Exactly.
If they're around them from an early age, they kind of take them into the tribe and what have you. But there's always the element of fear, and I thought they actually showed a little bit of that in the trailer. He wasn't fucking stroking these things on the back of the neck or anything. He still looked at it really that they might snap his head off.
Yeah, and that was very nice.
Yeah.
So
another thing I really liked
that.
about it was there was this. It looked like it was possibly a T-Rex, but then this hand came down and snatched this guy up, and it was like that hand looks a lot bigger than normal.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're talking about a little Godzilla here.
That's the new dinosaur that they created in the park.
Yeah.
This is a new species called Indominus Rex.
I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah, Indominus Rex. Now, it was originally called Diabolus Rex, which is a fucking shit name.
That's sad.
It was D-Rex.
Yeah.
I think people were like, lads, and they kind of went, yeah, we know.
That was George.
So, yeah. Just showed up on set one day. You should call that D-Rex. Fuck off, George, will you?
Did you ever hear any of the terrible titles that Crystal Skulls nearly had?
No.
Oh, that's fucking classic. I'm gonna look it up. You keep talking away there about Jurassic World.
So yeah, I love the trailer. I love that Velociraptor thing, and I think it could actually make sense in the context of the film if they explain it well. Do you know what I mean? If they just kind of like, oh, Velociraptors don't kill people anymore, that'll be like, what? But it's a good way of doing it. It also sets up this new dinosaur as the villain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when you've got Velociraptors and you've got T-Rexes, this new dinosaur, you're kind of like, it's like, that's the problem I have with the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, where it's like, you know, I didn't care because there's other stuff that I want to see. You know what I mean? But now that you've got this almost like they're all ganging up on this one thing, it's interesting to see. You know?
It is, and it's the obvious antagonist. A fucking totally brand new dinosaur. Like, we literally shouldn't have built this, you know?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, what I liked was they've improved the CGI a lot. You know, there's a lot of people complaining about the CGI in the first trailer. They said it looked shit. The new CGI looks a lot better. And my favorite thing about the whole trailer was the fact that they included the old music in the trailer. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did. I could hear it. Yeah, it was subtle.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's what I want. You know how to tickle me.
Is Williams doing the whole score?
I'm not sure. Let me check.
Or are they just using this section as music?
Ah, he's back. Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Don't do that to me.
Hold on a second. John Williams themes are being used. So you're talking about the do 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 that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting that he's not there. Just because you know that theme is one of the classic themes in cinema.
It is.
One of those themes where you're kind of just going, you hear it and you go, ah, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. There's 3 or 4 perfect theme tunes, and that's up there. You have that. You have Star Wars. You have E.T.
Yes.
Indiana Jones. I can't think of any more that are so fucking iconic, like, you know.
Superman.
Oh, Superman, yeah, Jesus, one of the best.
Yeah. And the 1960s Batman theme song. Batman. Batman. And also, the Man of Steel score is great. Sorry, Man of Steel score is actually really good too.
Yes, it is, yeah. I think I said this to you before. I got that soundtrack. I rushed into it. It's not a fantastic soundtrack. Less than half of it is good.
Oh, okay.
Most of it it's very kind of background stuff, you know.
Yeah.
What's the word? Atmospheric fucking music. But the half that is good is really, really good. And that's why they invented the skip button. So what am I complaining about?
Can you excuse me for a second?
Yeah.
Good Christ, I write stories about that. Oh, fuck, man. I was just sitting there telling me the George Lucas things. And my stomach... Do you ever just get when you're sitting down, your stomach just goes, you need to go take a shit?
Yeah, it's almost like your stomach should have told you 15 minutes beforehand and it decided not to bother you. And then it just like, holy shit, I better fucking tell this guy what's about to happen.
It's like it's saying, I know you're busy, I'll give you a couple of minutes. And, but, oh, fucking hell, man. It was like someone just turned on a tap and it just poured down me.
Wow.
There was no structural integrity to that shit whatsoever.
Unbelievable.
Probably no one will know that, but anyway. Still, it's upsetting.
So, I've just been watching the Jurassic World trailer.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I have the headphones on. I've got better sound, but I'm psyched. I'm psyched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's great. I love the bit where Chris Pratt says, you made a fucking new dinosaur. That's like a shitty idea. I'm paraphrasing there, of course. And then next time you see this thing running after him, and he's with this other guy in like a blue fucking overalls. And he gets snatched up, of course, because he's fucking nobody. He's essentially a fucking a red top from fucking Star Trek, like, you know what I mean? But no, it's good. By the way, what do we think of Chris Pratt for Indiana Jones?
Oh, I wanted to get onto this. If they have to recast Indiana Jones, Chris Pratt is the lad that could do it.
That's my feeling. If they have to do it, then do it with him. Not fucking Zac Efron. Not Shia LaBeouf.
No. Definitely not fucking Shia LaBeouf. Fuck's sake.
Which brings me back to alternative titles for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Before we get onto that.
You're gonna fucking... Come on, what?
No, before we get onto that, I just want to say that we should probably finish the Jurassic World video.
Well, yeah,
so,
okay.
Just very quickly, we'll just say, I fucking love that teaser, and I am so excited for this film. I cannot wait. It's my second most. It's the film I'm looking forward to, like, second most. Obviously, the first is the Avengers because that just looks outstanding. But that Jurassic World is gonna be. I'm worried it's gonna be shit. I am worried. Part of me is worried it's gonna be shit because I've been let down by the third one. But I'm really hoping that the second one is gonna be very, very, very. Oh, the fourth one's gonna be really good. Especially because Chris Pratt is in it. I love that man. So yeah. So Liam, how do you feel about the teaser?
I'm hyped. I'm hyped and I'm psyched. I have a strong feeling that it's gonna be good. You have the same fear as you that it might be shite, but I just don't think so. I've got a good vibe. There's gonna be haters. There's always haters.
Yeah.
You know? And I will miss Goldblum. And I'll miss Sam Neill, Laura Dern to a certain extent.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, same as Indiana Jones. If it has to be somebody else, might as well be Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
He's a nice
Because
guy.
for me, the man can do no wrong. So, that's the Super Bowl trailers reviewed. Couple of couldn't give a fucks. Couple of meh. One.
Yeah. Did you finish our outro?
No, I didn't. So yeah, couple of couldn't give a fucks, couple of mehs, and for me two, I cannot fucking wait, and that's Furious 7 and Jurassic World.
Yeah. I would actually have a slight interest in Furious 7. Even though I'm not a fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
It just looks like what you said, popcorn. Just a popcorn movie. Switch your brain off, and that's fine. There was an awful lot of mess, awful lot of couldn't give a fucks, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah.
50 Shades and all that shit.
It was a little bit.
Also, I don't know how we didn't mention this before. I'm super disappointed that there wasn't a Batman versus Superman trailer.
Oh, we'll get into that. Don't you worry. I'll get into that. Or we can talk about it now if you want. There was rumors going around about that trailer debuting at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you see those rumors? I'm assuming that's why you were hyped about
it. Just a couple of people on Facebook kind of guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. The reason I knew there wasn't going to be a teaser, and the reason I knew there wasn't going to be a teaser is because Warner Brothers has not bought Super Bowl ad in about 5 or 6 years.
Really?
Like even Man of Steel last year, not last year, 2013. People are saying, they're saying, they're gonna have to do a Super Bowl teaser because they haven't, because they really didn't. The marketing for Man of Steel I thought was really well done. It was minimalist. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Right up until about 2 or 3 weeks before, where they really were just like, here's a clip, and Warner Brothers did not, show anything. They didn't buy ad space, and everyone knew before the weekend that Warner Brothers did not buy ad space, but still people were saying no, they're going to drop a teaser, it's a surprise, they're trying to keep fans speculating as to when it's coming out, and no, do you know what I mean? The movie's still a year away, a year and a bit, fucking nearly 14 months away.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people are going on about like the trailers coming out soon. I mean, they could realistically drop a trailer soon, but I'm not expecting anything substantial whatsoever.
Yeah, I think apart from anything else, that kind of movie just sells itself. And the same can be said for the first Man of Steel. Although we'd had a Superman in the past, a few years before that. This one, we knew it was different. We knew it was going to be a breath of fresh air. Totally different feel. And there was just enough hype that they didn't need to be spending millions of dollars on fucking Super Bowl ad space.
Exactly.
And that's probably what they're thinking this time around. There's so much chatter on the internet about Batman being Superman. What's the point in fucking spending money on ads?
Exactly. And I mean, the thing about this is, like, everyone's talking about, it's Warner Brothers, it's DC, it might not do well, it might bomb. This film is not going to bomb.
No.
This film is going to make at least, most people are speculating it's going to make over $1 billion. No matter what. Because you're talking about the first time there's ever, in a movie, that there's ever been 2 DC characters crossing over this way.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, we have to face it, the 2 biggest superheroes of all time, Batman and Superman.
Yeah, easily.
No matter what people say about the X-Men and Spider-Man, blah, 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 no one comes close to Batman and Superman. Like, everyone knows the Batman.
Absolute icons, yeah.
Yeah. So this film is going to do well. So they don't need to put a trailer out now, because, like you even said, people are talking about this film every day online. People are speculating about everything in this film. I mean, every day there's a new rumor, there's news, do you know what I mean? So
its existence advertises itself. They don't need to spend money on it. Exactly. Spend money on the film, by all means.
But what I am interested in is these rumors that it's going to be one with Jupiter Ascending, because it's a Warner Brothers movie that was pushed back a couple of months.
Well, if you remember, we did a video, movies we're psyched for in 2014.
Yeah.
That was in my list. And here we are, fucking February 2015, still waiting.
Still waiting. It's it's not a movie that's gonna be big. I really don't see it doing well, and I feel bad for the Wachowski brothers. Well,
Hmm.
siblings,
Yeah.
because they had what you named as one of your all-time favorite films and one of the best sci-fi films probably ever, regardless of the sequels. The
Hmm.
Matrix is one of the best movies, one of the best sci-fi movies of all time.
Yeah.
And the sequels are shit. And then they made what did they make after that? They made Cloud Atlas. I know that was one of the most
Oh,
recent ones they did,
yeah.
which apparently was. Some people said it was genius. Some people said it was awful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, and I'd love to see it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to see it.
So I feel bad for them because they made some outstanding films, but then one outstanding film and
Yeah.
fucked it up beyond all belief.
Oh, to be fair to them, they're visionaries, but they're just not having a lot of box office luck.
None whatsoever. Bound,
Oh yeah.
Matrix, Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions, The Matrix Online, Matrix Path and Neo, Enter the Matrix. Right? That was 2005 was the last Matrix related thing they made after the 1999 original one. Cloud Atlas, Speed Racer, which I don't know if you saw that. Don't.
Oh, horrendous. I seen about 10 minutes of it, and I nearly had a fit.
Cloud Atlas and Jupiter Ascending, and everything after the Matrix was completely bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. I think Jupiter Ascending could be the turning point. I have high
Could
hopes.
be. Could be. But so there's speculation that they're gonna put a Batman vs Superman teaser in front of that to try and boost, people going to see it. But the reason I don't think that's gonna happen is because if they release a trailer just in cinemas, I mean no studio does that anymore. Trailers
Yeah.
always come out online. So I mean anyone that wants to see that trailer will not go see that movie, they'll just watch it online.
Yeah, it's a good theory, but only a handful will do it.
Yeah,
And the handful that do it will probably walk out after the trailer. They won't stick around for
exactly.
Jupiter Ascending.
Exactly. So I genuinely don't see anything dropping for this film. Like maybe a teaser, but a full trailer, I'm gonna argue you're talking August, September.
Yeah.
So I mean, before we get something, a full like
It's,
minute and a half, 2 minute trailer.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. And believe me, that's heartbreaking. Fucking heartbreaking for me because I mean, you know how excited everyone is about this movie, me
Yeah.
included.
Yeah, it's been a
Especially
long
when you
time
think
coming.
about the fact that it was pushed back last January,
Mm.
right? So if it hadn't have been pushed back, we'd probably be talking now about the second trailer for this film, or at least the first trailer and the second trailer coming out soon, because it was supposed to come out in the summer of this year.
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we'd be sitting here going, Jesus, that fucking first trailer was great, wasn't it? Or that trailer was shit. But
Yeah.
nothing to go on except for that Comic-Con teaser, which I don't know if you saw that, did you?
I see a very poxy version of it, where it looked
Yeah, well,
class.
that's the only thing that exists out there now. To be honest, is the epoxy version. I mean, I was so excited by that I fucking when that teaser dropped, like when it went on the internet, and
Mm.
it was there, and people were like, "Oh my god, get it quick before it gets taken down," because it was gonna get taken down straight away.
Yeah.
I actually downloaded it from YouTube. I have it on the computer, so I can just watch it whenever I want. I don't know how many times I've watched it, and every time I still get excited. So yeah, it's gonna be
I
great.
wonder if they'll release that properly.
They said no. They said they're not going to release it,
Bastards.
which I'm happy about because if everyone was getting really excited for this first look at Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, and the first look they gave us was something that most people that care about the movie have already seen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's seen that teaser, no matter how hard they tried to hide it. Everyone's
Yeah.
seen it. So to release that would be a real anticlimax for everyone who's really, really waiting for this.
I suppose so, yeah. Maybe it'll be nice after the fact, once the film is released and all that, if it's like an extra on the DVD or something. It would be nice to see the crystal clear HD
Yeah,
version of it,
yeah.
you know?
Well, I would assume that that's probably going to be in the movie.
I wouldn't assume much these days, especially with early
Well,
teaser trailers.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Would be
So
nice to see
yeah,
that.
Batman versus Superman. We've talked
Another
about it
one
so much.
that people thought was going to pop up at the Super Bowl was Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that we're bound to get another teaser in there, at least.
Yeah. What I find very interesting about this new Star Wars film, and something that I actually feel kind of sorry for the lad in a way, right?
Yeah.
George Lucas recently came out and said he didn't watch the teaser until, and that teaser came out in November. Yeah, it was the end of November,
It was, yeah.
and he said like he didn't watch it, and which is fair enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's too painful for him, but I feel sorry for the lad that like this franchise that he created and everyone loved. I mean, those first three films, 4, 5, and 6, which feels weird to say, the first three films, number 4, 5, and 6. I mean, they're beloved by everyone that's ever seen them.
Yeah.
And for him to fuck it up so bad with the prequels that like everyone's going, oh, thank God George Lucas is not involved in this film.
Yeah.
It's sad in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he recently came out and said none of the ideas that he pitched for 7, 8, and 9 were used in the film.
I heard that, yeah. And like this was an official thing, like they literally bought 3 storylines off him. They paid him to do that. And he's like, yeah, here you go. And they looked at it, oh thanks. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, fuck off, George.
Yeah. Somebody recently was saying something, man, I thought it was class, talking about the success of the original 3 and then the prequels being a bit shite, maybe. The original 3, he in his writing does a lot of references to classical literature and Greek mythology and I think Japanese legend and all kinds of fucking references he brought in. Whereas the prequels, he was literally only referencing himself.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
He
He created this universe from all these other references, and then when it came to making sequels for it, prequels rather, he was like he completely closed his mind to everything on the outside. It was just his work.
It was about George.
It was about George. It was all about George.
And it is sad. It is sad because, like, imagine creating something and fucking it up so bad that everyone's happy you're not involved anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like the Sons of Anarchy creator fucking it up so bad that everyone was just like, thank God he's not involved anymore because he ruined it.
Yeah. And that would be very sad. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, I'll also reiterate the point that I made that I'm glad George Lucas isn't involved at all in this.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
And I'm also very glad that it's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Yeah, there's very few directors that I would have trusted to do this. J.J., possibly Guillermo, I would have trusted.
Yeah, I've heard that. And Gareth Edwards as well.
He's
confirmed, right? He's the chap who directed Godzilla and Monsters.
Right. Yeah.
Apparently he's doing one of the spin-offs.
Really?
Which, apparently the spin-off, rumor, of course, apparently the spin-off is going to be based around the idea of the people who went in and stole the plans for the Death Star in the original film. Before. They're going to make that like a heist movie, which would be very interesting to see.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Very interesting. So I'm very excited for this Star Wars movie, and that actually lends a bit of legitimacy to the idea of a Batman vs Superman trailer coming out, because they did release a Star Wars teaser a year and a bit before the movie came out.
That's right. Yeah.
But Star Wars is also a different beast. Because it's weird, because you see all these counter arguments where like that's true, where it's like I said about, they might release a Batman Superman because Star Wars did it, and then I then contradict myself. It says Star Wars is a different beast. I'm going to contradict myself and say, yeah, but like we've already seen 6 Star Wars movies. We've never seen Batman and Superman in a movie together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it depends on your perspective of what you think is more important. Personally, I don't see anything coming out for Batman vs Superman for a long time, but I hope to be pleasantly surprised. Jupiter Ascending is out this week. I think it's the 6th. It's out. That's Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm guessing if they're gonna release something, we should hear about it in the next couple of days. If we don't hear anything about it before, say, Thursday, then it's bullshit again.
Yeah.
Because people speculated The Hobbit as well, didn't they? They said that there was going to be a Batman vs Superman trailer with The Hobbit. I mean, people were saying this was confirmed, it was happening. But,
No, I didn't hear that.
oh, really? It was
Yeah.
all over the internet. People were going to
Oh,
see The Hobbit just to see if there was a Batman vs Superman trailer.
fuck's sake.
Man
Peter
trailer.
Jackson probably spread that rumor.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Did you watch the 3 Hobbit films? All 3 of them.
I did.
What did you think of them?
Well, like the thing about it is, and already you can tell I'm using a defensive tone here. So we know what the public perception is of this stuff.
I love the fact that you admitted it straight away. I'm using defensive tone here.
It's a different animal. It's a different animal from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And the same can be said for the books. The Hobbit is a very different book from the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's essentially a children's book. And you can see that. You can see that on the screen because The Hobbit, it's like watching a video game.
Yeah.
Particularly the action sequences in my way. You know?
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, there's a lack of danger. Or at least, the danger is there, but it never feels real. You never feel like anybody's in proper danger. People keep pointing out to the scene, I think it was in the first Hobbit movie, where Gandalf and all the dwarves are on this, like a scaffolding, and this big lump of scaffolding is falling down at this gully, and they should be dead. There's no way you're walking away from that.
They are hobbits, though.
Well, the dwarves and the wizard, but even so, if something like that had happened in,
oh shit! Yeah, they are. They're not hobbits. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's the same thing people keep saying about pretty much any fucking film in the last few years. Indiana Jones 4 actually had the same problem. There was a lot of non-existent danger in that film, where you knew in real life the person would be dead. The fridge scene, for example.
Nuke the fridge. Yeah, I was just about to say.
Yeah, and that's it. That was the slippery slope. And the thing is, you have to wonder: is The Hobbit the way it is because Peter Jackson got sloppy, or is it the way it is because he tried to carry on that feeling from the book, that childlike, crazy fucking, shit happens, but you walk away from it and just dust yourself off. Because the Lord of the Rings is too gritty for that shit. You wouldn't have the lack of peril like that in Lord of the Rings. So did you not see all 3 Hobbit movies? No?
I saw the first one. I didn't bother with the other 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed the 3 Lord of the Rings films. I thought the first one was alright, a bit lackluster. I thought not a lot happens in it. You know what I mean? For what it is, I don't think. When you compare it to the second two, the number 2 and number 3, do you know what I mean? It's not, it's not as action packed, we'll say. I mean, it has its moments, but it's not as,
Yeah.
But so I didn't bother with number 2 and number 3. Sorry, I didn't bother with number 2 and 3, The Hobbit, because I just kind of felt like, I saw the first one. I wasn't that impressed by the first one. I saw it in the high frame rate as well,
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, if I didn't have to sit through that experience again, I wouldn't really mind that much.
Yeah. I didn't see that high frame rate, and I'm glad I didn't. We got the telly in the kitchen here, and it's the fucking 100 megahertz or something, as opposed to 50 megahertz.
Yeah.
And I don't know about most people, but I can totally see the difference, and I don't like it. Everything is too
HDness.
Yeah, it's too crystal clear.
On Samantha's TV in the house in Ireland, the old TV, it's fucking massive. But we were watching Dumb and Dumber one night, and my God, like watching that film on that TV was awful because it looked almost like I was watching a home video. Do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to explain.
It's very hard. Yeah.
But it's just something I don't like.
It's too crystal clear. It's like watching a video game.
Yeah.
I've noticed as well, in particular, with like just very simple things, like somebody walking across the room. It looks like you're watching EastEnders.
And it almost feels like the background is fake.
Yeah.
And when the person moves across the screen, it's always the person gets here, and then the rest of the room kind of turns. Is that like almost like the room is following the person around?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange.
But the third Hobbit movie, awful lot of CGI, and that's saying something. An awful lot, an almost unbearable amount.
Jesus.
Particularly there was these battle scenes towards the end, and like you had the fucking dwarf army and you had the elf army, and it was literally like, I was gonna say a video game, but even video games aren't like this. Every soldier looked like every other soldier. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Like they just kind of copied and pasted.
Yeah, if you look at it like a battle sequence in Lord of the Rings, you can pinpoint one particular soldier and look at him. He moves different. He looks slightly different. His armor is slightly different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know it's not real. You know they didn't get 5,000 people to fight in the field. But
how great would it be if they did?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. But with the Hobbit, the third Hobbit movie, it was like the same fucking character. Boom, 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 all in a row.
Huh.
I thought it was lazy.
So, I'm going to change the topic slightly a little bit, Liam.
Yep.
You mentioned, one of us brought up Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, recently someone mentioned to me that there was some interesting titles that were nearly picked for that film. Could you elaborate on that whatsoever?
That's very correct. And in fact, I have a link right here.
Wow.
Uncanny.
It is uncanny. Uncanny like the X-Men. What? Sorry.
Okie dokie. So, in order of shiteness,
hit me.
10 being worst and 1 being the best, but best meaning worst.
Sorry. Can I just say, when we first started trying to do this,
yeah,
it was so bad that I had to take a shit. You don't realise that I had to run out of the room and sit down on the toilet for 10 minutes.
Well, it
so
gets
here
worse.
We go.
It gets worse. I hope you're wearing an adult diaper.
I'm bracing myself.
We'll recap those first few again, okay? So,
go ahead.
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull could have been called Indiana Jones and the City of Gods, which isn't too bad.
No.
That's not terrible. It could have been called Indiana Jones and the Destroyer of Worlds.
That's all I'll say.
It's alright. It's, you know. But then it gets worse. Indiana Jones and the Fourth Corner of the Earth.
Jesus.
Okay, that's pretty bad. You have another one here. You have Indiana Jones and the Lost City of Gold, which isn't too bad.
It's alright.
Do you know what I mean? When you think about it, it's a little bit better than Crystal Skulls. So now we have Indiana Jones and the Quest for the Covenant, which to me kind of harks back to the Lost Ark and the Holy Grail and all that, because you're back on religious ground again. Which another thing I find interesting about this is did they just sit around trying to come up with good Indiana Jones titles and then think of a plot?
Probably, yeah. That's probably exactly what happened.
Which seems kind of wrong.
It's like some of the titles you said, in the context of the film, don't really make that much sense.
Yeah, like the Quest for the Covenant. That's nothing to do with fucking anything that happened in Indiana Jones 4.
The fourth corner of the world,
yeah.
Which I hate.
It's so clumsy. It's so difficult to say. So here we're on to the best of the best here, right?
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Attack of the Giant Ants.
Fuck me.
Okay. Indiana Jones.
Oh, Jesus.
Indiana Jones and the something, right? They've left that blank. They've left this blank because they didn't know what to say here. Indiana Jones and the something of the Mysterians. Whoever the fucking Mysterians were.
Fucking hell.
And I think we're into the top 2. I just want to make sure there's no more. Yeah, here we go. Top 2. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Indiana Jones and the Saucer Men. Okay. Just want to let you chew on that for a minute. And then my personal favorite, Indiana Jones and the Son of Indiana Jones. Leaving no doubt in anybody's mind that George Lucas totally saw Shia LaBeouf being the new fucking Indiana Jones.
Jesus.
Like, if you thought the scene at the end where Shia LaBeouf picks up Indiana Jones's hat was a clue that George Lucas wants him to be the new Indiana Jones. Then this title would have fucking sealed the deal. But luckily, Spielberg or somebody said, George,
Fuck
so shit you
off.
got killed. But that stinks.
Can I just ask you a question? Because I tried to block that movie out as much as I can. It had one or two moments where I was like, that's not too bad. Do you know what I mean? Like certain moments in the film where I was like, it's alright.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But from what I can remember, the aliens at the end, there was very little build up to that. Do you know what I mean? There was no real hint. I mean, I think there was one moment where they kind of talk about, it could be aliens. But I think the chap that mentioned that was kind of, taking the piss out of, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're a fucking idiot or whatever. And then they go to that place, and all of a sudden, fucking boom, aliens just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it was just totally. It felt like a 10-year-old had watched the first 3 Indiana Jones, and then was given complete charge of the script. I want you to write the script and make it feel like an Indiana Jones film. Sort of like, what we do here, right? We need exotic locations, fight sequences, and then we need a huge epic kind of finale where something magical happens. But very little thought was put into it.
Yeah. And it's just awful.
A lot of people complain about the aliens. A lot of people, and there's so much to complain about in that film. But people picked on the whole alien thing. Why did it have to be aliens? I didn't have a problem with it.
No, neither did I.
I don't mind alien movies, sci-fi and that kind of thing. But mostly, the main reason for not minding it is because, like, what else do you want? You can't keep doing the same themes in Indiana Jones. It can't just be religious every time. You have religion.
But I want to point.
You had black magic basically in the second one, which was a prequel. Then you had religion again in the third one. Fourth one, they went with aliens. It didn't go down well.
That was one of the things that I didn't have a problem with that because, like, it's not like the first 3 Indiana Jones are based completely in reality. Like, you did have the Ark of the Covenant in there at one point.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you're talking about a movie that was all about science and stuff. So to complain about aliens, you're kind of you know what I mean? You're really nitpicking, I feel. But what bothered me was there was no real build up to the aliens. It was just like, here's this story, it's going one way, and then all of a sudden, bam, aliens. Why? Because we fucking can't. That's why.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we want to have a fucking Indiana Jones Star Wars crossover eventually.
Yeah. Oh, that's
what I mean. And that. Fuck off. Don't be. George Lucas is probably sitting in his home wanking over this, going, "Oh, it'll be fucking great. It'll be great."